when I put up the video, I'm the first person to watch it. But Mommy, I had scheduled it to go up at 12. Yes.
I still want to have rice and beans.
Okay, did you add to Daddy? Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shareen. I'm an interior designer in New York City, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the one room challenge. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I participated in the one room challenge last fall, maybe? Yes, last fall. And I started off and then it was a total flop. If you have not participated or if you've not experienced the one room challenge and don't know what I'm talking about, let me explain it. The One Room Challenge is this great experience where designers can volunteer to finish a space in 6 weeks, roughly. Due to the times we're in, it's going to be 8 weeks, but that's still a very short amount of time. And usually we're spending so much time completing all the spaces for all of our audience and all of our clients that we really don't have time to do our own. And so last fall that happened to me. This spring, I am not going to let it happen to me. I have decided to participate. So for the next 8 weeks roughly, you're gonna see information coming out from me all about the challenge. I had to sit down and think about what room I wanted to do. And for me, it's almost like I've been lying to you about how clean and organized and beautiful my space is, because the reality is I have a space that is like the sin of omission. I have omitted it from all of my videos. I have not showed it to you, but the reality is it exists and I am human, and hopefully you can relate to this. I'm gonna be redoing my office. My office space has just a conglomerate of mess. It has my daughter's like remote control car that sits here. It has the shredder, and that's because there's no outlet in my entryway, so I can't shred my mail right when I come into the house, so the shredder lives over here. It has all of our routers, it has, and modems, it has a computer that doesn't even work, if I'm honest. It's like an eyesore. There is a picture that I bought in December, and I just finally framed it a month ago and still haven't put it on the wall. But let's talk about how we get started. How in the world do we start? We identify the space first of all, which clearly there is a space in my house that needs to be tackled. The next thing we do is we talk about the function of the space, which I've talked about in all my videos about interior design, is that it's really centered around the function. And the function of this space is, it is to be my workspace. It is to be where I store my samples for my clients. It is to be where I film my YouTube videos, and it is also going to be where I take video calls, which, as you know, is a very important setting right now, especially in the work that I do. So next up, we're gonna take some steps in order to get it prepped. The first step is to clean the space. The second step is to declutter. And what's the difference between clean and declutter? Clean is basically just making sure that everything there is clean, whereas decluttering is where you're removing things that are not fulfilling the purpose of that space. So for me, it could be having some more things that are beautifying the space, but they're not necessarily serving. And so I do need certain things for inspiration, but I don't need my daughter's electric car in this space. So we're gonna solve that. The next thing after we've decluttered is to problem solve. And that is, what are the issues and how can we circumvent them? So from a workplace perspective, I definitely need a new desk. This desk is no longer my style. It also is totally full of items, which hopefully after I declutter, I can reduce them and make sure that I have the amount of workspace that I need in order to do what I need to do. Because if I don't have the space, then, I mean, I don't need I say more. A mouse pad. I probably need to invest in a mouse pad. Maybe it's because I've had this glam mirrored desk for a little bit too long, but if I'm trying to do some sort of CAD and rendering, I'm using a mouse and it's bouncing off the mirror. It's just a nightmare, which is why I don't do it often enough at this desk. Next up is the video calls. You might think, oh, this is just a little bit vain. Well, it's not vain, because like I told you, in my line of work, people are expecting to see an amazing backdrop when they talk to me. So the lighting has to be right. There's no window treatment on this window that's back here in the corner, so the light isn't diffused when it is coming in really strong. It's just little things like that. And I have a curtain rod. I have a rod to hang, but the rod that I have is for like a gourmet curtain, and God knows I'm not going to do a gourmet curtain anytime soon, so I just need to invest in a proper drapery rod and put up proper drapers. I'm working on it. Next. Filming videos. So in my line of work, this is really important. When people are logging on to a video call with me, they're expecting to see an amazing background, or when I'm putting something out on YouTube, they're looking deep inside my apartment to see what it looks like. And so I need space for that. And you may not be able to tell, but I can't actually fit back here. Like this lovely chair that I definitely adore that I got last year does not fit between this desk and this wall, so that's an issue. So I don't have the space that I need necessarily to film. I can't get different angles, or it's really hard for me to get angles or deal with the lighting, or the amount of setup is just absurd in order to get decent lighting. And then the tripod, I have to have like places to put the tripod and the camera, and right now that can be a challenge, so I have to solve for that. The last thing is samples, my sample library. I have really heavy samples. I could have tile samples, I could have brick samples, paint samples are really thin, I could have magazines. There's like a whole slew of things that are back there. And so like I even have some hardwood behind me, matter of fact. And if I were to show you how many of these I have from the vendor, you'd probably be floored. It's like boxes full of it, and I just don't have the storage for it. You can't put this, you can't mount it vertically or anything, like it weighs. And so I want to create a space for sample storage. Tile, floor, carpet, hardwood, all of it, all of it. We have to figure out that sample library. And that is essentially it. Maybe a file cabinet, maybe. I do very little paper, but still on occasion there's some paper here and there. So maybe we'll do that, but we have to do some problem solving. And then the last step is beautifying it, like putting things around that inspire me so that I can sit down and be motivated to work. And that's coming, but we'll see when we get to that point. Hopefully roughly 6 weeks from now. So if you need to do this for your space, a space in your home or in your work area or what have you, then let this be encouragement, because we are all out on a limb here trying to get this done. And you have to hold me accountable just like I will hold you accountable. So if you're down for that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know where you are going to focus on for the next 6 weeks as we get through this. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere on YouTube, but you chose to be with me, and I appreciate that. I am thankful for you, and I will see you next time, next Thursday, and I am going to make progress in this space. I'm going to make progress. Ciao.